Hello everyone, I hope you're doing good. Today I'm going to be doing a requested video. Many of you have requested for me to do a must-have makeup brushes for those of you who are starting into makeup. So actually I was a bit hesitant doing this this video only because I'm a makeup artist, and for me, it's never enough when it comes to brushes. I always want to experiment and try different types of brushes. So it's very difficult for me to get back into that beginner's mode because it's been a long time and I have so many brushes and I use them a lot, actually, many of them. However, I have a few that I usually reach out for and I would recommend to my clients. So I'm going to share with you that, and my suggestion to you is not to buy a huge set of makeup brushes, because most of the time you will end up not using all of them. So go for individual brushes. However, for cost's sake, I think you can also get those sets, like Delium Tool sells a couple of good sets. Sedona Lace has got good brush sets. Coastal Sands, you have Sigma Makeup that has got really good sets. So today I'm going to show you some of the brushes that I picked out that will work, and I am not brand biased here, so I just show you what I have and what I think will work. There are many different types of foundation application. Of course, you have the cream foundation application, you have liquid foundation, you also have powder foundation. So if you are a cream foundation person, my suggestion to you is to go and get a flat foundation brush like this. This one is MAC 190 brush. It's a synthetic top, synthetic bristle brush, and it does a very good job by applying cream foundation. And also you can also use this to apply concealer, cream concealer as well. Now, if you are a liquid foundation user like myself, I prefer using a flat top kabuki brush like this, or a sponge, a makeup sponge. This one is something similar to the Sonia Kashuk one. I believe Beauty Blender has got a few, the dome shaped type of sponge, makeup sponge. You can also buy these disposable ones. These are really cheap, very effective, and this is one of the oldest way to apply foundation, and this was how I started personally. Coming back to the flat top kabuki brush, this one is from Sigma. This is the F80 flat kabuki. If you don't want to spend a lot of money, and also the shipping cost, for those of us who are not staying in the US, you have to pay for shipping costs. If you don't want to spend that money, my suggestion to you is to go on eBay. There's another, many eBay sellers who are selling this brush, which is also a flat top brush like this. All you have to do, type in flat top brush, and then you will have many different eBay sellers offering this brush on their site. So this one was $8.99. It does a very good job, similar to the Sigma one. However, I prefer the Sigma one because it covers larger surface. Since I have a larger face, it does cover a larger surface, and also it does it's dense, and I like that. Whereas this one, you can also use it. It's just that it's a little too small for me. I prefer using this brush for cream blush, or doing a little bit of contouring and highlighting. So now I have a demonstration video on my channel where I have used this brush to apply my concealer, foundation, powder. So for me, this is a multi-purpose kind of a brush. So if you are that kind of a person, do get this brush. This really works. If you are a powder foundation user, for example, many years I was actually using the MAC Studio Fix powder in NC45, which is the one that comes like a compact kind of packaging. Of course, I use a powder puff like this to apply the foundation. It works well. It really helps to place and push in the product into the face, onto the face. And also it does, you know, you kind of like take what you need and you place it, so that way you don't have powder everywhere and you're not wasting much product. However, if you are someone who likes using brushes, go for a powder brush like this, because this one you can also use it for powder foundation. You can also use it, you know, to do loose, when you apply your loose setting powder after a liquid or cream foundation. This works very well. So you just, you know, place your powder and then you just sweep it all over your face. It does a very good job. And also if you are applying eyeshadow, you can use this brush to actually, you know, clean up any fall downs of the eyeshadow. Moving on to contouring, blush and highlighting. Okay, if you are a cream blush or cream, you know, cream contour blush highlight user, go for the you know, flat foundation brush. It does an excellent job. Or you can also use the flat top kabuki for the purpose. You can also use your fingers, actually. It works very well. But if you want a good brush, go for an angle brush like this. It does a very good job because it really has that angle, and placement of product is much easier. So when you do apply contour powder, a darker powder, always start from the back and then you bring the color to the front, not like this and then out, because then you will have too much of your product deposited in that, you know, region, in this region, and it's not very flattering on the face. So get an angle brush like this. It works very good, very well for contouring, for blush application, and also in the end, if you want to do a little bit of highlighting, you can use the same brush to do highlighting. Highest part of your cheek, your nose, forehead, chin. It does an excellent job. And also your, you know, eyebrow bone area. Now, of course, if you have extra money, if you don't mind, you know, splurging a little bit, get a blush brush like this. You know, just something that suits your face. You know, the size of it should not be too large. It should be just nice, suited for your cheek, so that it's much easier and manageable when you are applying your cheek color. Now moving on to the eyes. Of course, you know, if you're a beginner, my suggestion to you is to use sponge tip application. I have a video on how you know, you can use a sponge tip applicator to apply your eyeshadow. It's actually a very effective way, and also it does a very good job compared to some makeup brushes, to be very honest, especially those eyeshadows that are, you know, very chalky, and also eyeshadows that are super shimmery. Usually makeup brushes can't pick the shimmers up well, but sponge tip applicators do a very good job. So you can actually pack those kind of like shimmery eyeshadows very well. As you have seen many of my videos, it's just a habit of mine. I like to use brushes to apply my base, only because, you know, for hygiene purposes and all, and this is what I usually do for my clients as well, because I don't like to use my fingers to apply anything around the eye. However, you know, on my own self, I use my fingers, especially if I'm applying Urban Decay Primer Potion. I just use it. It's much easier than using, you know, it goes much faster. And for base application, if you want to apply a cream product or a cream eyeshadow on, get a stiff blending brush like this. It works very well for placement of a base on the eyes, and also it does a very good job of blending out as well. So this one is actually MAC 217 brush. There are many, you know, companies out there who do make stiff blending brushes like this. Now, placement of eyeshadow. You can, as I said, you can use a sponge tip applicator. However, if you want to use a brush, go for a stiff, medium-sized brush like this. I like the MAC 239 brush, because it's just nice. The size of the brush is just nice for many different eye types. You know, if you have hooded eyes, small eyes, large eyes, this is one of the best brushes there are in the market that suits all eye types. And also it's just nice, it has a nice taper to it, so you can apply, you know, eyeshadow on your lower lash line here underneath. So it does give a very good precise application of eyeshadow, and also it's dense enough to pack on eyeshadow as well. Now if you want to do a little bit of crease work, you know, to apply, you know, a darker color on the crease, get a tapered blending brush like this. This one is actually from Sigma. This is the F45 small tapered blending brush. It has a tapered top, so it does a good job by placing, you know, a darker shade, or if you want to do some cut crease kind of look, you can actually use a brush like this to place the color. So it does go well with your, you know, crease and your eyeball, so that it places the color nicely. And also you can go for something which has a sharper tip. This one I believe I got it from crownbrushes.com. This one has got a very sharp, I think this one is called a medium, I think it's the medium tapered blending brush, or crease brush, sorry. So what this does is to apply, you know, darker shade on where you really want it, you know, intense color. A brush like this would help. Now if you want to do some blending out, you know, it's very important to blend out your eyeshadow so that you don't have harsh lines and it doesn't look, you know, awful. Go for something that is, you know, a stiff blending brush like this will do. This one is from Sigma. I also have one from MAC, which is the MAC 239. These are excellent brushes. You can get very cheap brushes as well from crownbrushes.com. Okay, now for highlight and eyebrow. For highlight, you know, you can use the MAC 239 to apply your highlight. So, you know, it doesn't really matter. You can use the stiff blending brush to apply your highlight as well. So, you know, highlight, I think you can use the brushes that I've mentioned to apply on your eyebrow bone area. Okay, now for eyebrows. There are many ways of applying, you know, shaping your eyebrows. Of course, if you have very thick, nice eyebrows where you don't need to fill in or, you know, do anything, lucky you. But many of us do need to fill in our eyebrows. Like for myself, I like to use the MAC Fluid Line, something like this, you know. It's a gel liner actually. So I use a angle brush for that purpose, to apply the product, and I find that it's very easy. It does a very good job with shaping, and also it has a nice you know, angle, and also it's a nice tip, so it does very nice precision work. You don't, you know, have too harsh of an eyebrow, you know, because you're using a large brush. You don't have to worry about that. And also get a spoolie like this so that you can groom your eyebrows, especially for those of you who have bushy eyebrows and you don't really need so much product, but you still need a spoolie like this to, you know, fix your eyebrows. Now here's a tip. If you have unruly eyebrows, you know, where you don't need to fill in but it just keeps moving, use hairspray. Spritz some or spray some on the spoolie and then brush it through your eyebrows. I promise you, your eyebrows will stay the whole day. Okay, this was something that I learned in beauty school and it has worked, and I always use this for my clients. I mean, use hairspray for your hair, why not your eyebrows, right? So yeah. Now you can also get an angle brush like this from a craft store. I have this one. This one is called Della Ronnie Angle Shader. It's a 1/4 inch brush. That's an excellent job actually. you know, doing your eyebrows and also doing gel lining, or if you want to do, you know, liquid lining. If you don't like the brush that comes with the liquid liner, you can actually take a little bit of the product on the angle brush and also apply it as well. I've seen many YouTubers, you know, who are not makeup artists, of course, using this type of a brush, and they do an excellent job. For me personally, I prefer using a fine detail brush like this because I have experience in applying my liner. I find it much easier to apply a detail brush like this so that I can, you know, do detail work, because I don't like large lines. I prefer going, you know, going in a smaller line in the inner corner of my eyes and then making it larger onto the outer corner so that it has a nice, you know, shape to the eye, so that it gives a nice shape to the eye. And I found that, you know, using a fine detail brush like this is much better. Of course, if you buy a brush set, usually you will get a brush like this. However, you can get this kind of brushes from many craft stores. This is an artist brush, and this one is also from Daler-Rowney. It's number 2 brush. So they have different sizes from 0 to I think number 10. 10 is like the thick one. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong, I'm not sure. So there are many you know, types and sizes, so it all depends on what kind of, you know, artist brush you like to use. Go for something that is not too thin, because, you know, it can be quite cumbersome to apply the liner. If it's too thin, you have to go many times to apply the liner and you might lose patience. You don't really need to spend so much of money to in order to apply, you know, full face makeup. I think these are the only brushes that you need if you are someone who, you know, wants to start up and wants to use brushes. If you ask me, if you are just getting into makeup and you don't know if you want to, you know, carry on, or you know, you have some budget problem, you know, or budget issues, not problem actually, it's just issues, go for, you know, disposable sponges like this. It does a very good job actually applying foundation. You can also use this to apply powder as well, and also it's very hygienic. You can, you know, it's just one time use, throw it away. But of course, if you're using, you know, the sponge for yourself alone, you can actually reuse by washing it in mild soap and maybe 4 or 5 times, and then you can throw it out and get a new you know, foundation, I mean a sponge, a disposable sponge. I hope you found this video useful. If you have any questions, let me know. I would love to answer them, of course. And so thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon in my next video. Bye.